Hi you guys! So today I thought that I would do another tag video. I was watching some videos by It's Black Friday. I love her, by the way. You should subscribe to her. She's just a darling. But anyway, I was looking through her videos and I came across the Darkling Tag and I thought that it would be fun for me to do that. So without further ado, let's get started. The first question is, what is your favorite candle scent? I just burned it all, and I could not begin to tell you what candle company makes it, but it's vetiver and cardamom. Vetiver. I like it. It smells like trees. Do you have a favorite book? That's really difficult. I like a lot of books. I don't know. I love Tolkien. So maybe something by Tolkien. I have a lot of Neil Gaiman books. Gosh. Next! Are you a tea or a coffee person? I am definitely a tea person. I drink pretty obscene amounts of tea. And y'all know I'm a southerner, but I don't mean specifically like sweet tea. I have a cabinet above the stove that is full of black teas and herbal teas and all kinds of things like that. Oh, this one is good. What is your favorite brand and color of lipstick? It's actually the one I have on, which is by ColourPop, and the color is Creature, and I just like it a lot. It wears like a high-end lipstick, but it's only $5, and I think that that's just really, really nice. Let's see, what's next? Do you have a celebrity crush? Amanda Palmer. I don't know, that's probably inaccurate. I do love Amanda Palmer. It varies. If you had to give up the color black, what color would you choose instead? Purple. Without a doubt, purple. There is not a bad shade of purple. If you could change your name to a stereotypical 90s, 2000 Gothy name, what would it be? Maybe Anathema? I think that's a Neil Gaiman reference. Yes, that is a Neil Gaiman reference, but Anathema. What are your top 3 tips for surviving hot weather while black clad? As a Southern Goth, I feel like I'm particularly good at this. I'll give you 4 tips, because they really vary depending on your comfort. 1, no matter who you are, drink lots and lots of cool water. 2, if you're a lady and you like your makeup products, a lot of setting spray. Put your foundation on, put some setting spray on. Do the rest of your face, put some setting spray on. About to walk out the door, put some setting spray on, you know? I like De-Slick by Urban Decay because I'm oily. Top 3 tip, if it is within your comfort zone, wear your black clothes a little skimpily. And 4, carry some kind of shade around with you, like a parasol is nice. I have a black lacy one somewhere that I got in New Orleans. Yeah. What song always makes you happy? It doesn't have to be a goth band. In this particular case, I guess it is. I love This Charming Man by the Smiths. It never fails to make me feel like I need to bounce around. Let's see here. Are you active in the arts? Examples, play an instrument, paint, write, etc. I am. Maybe not as much as I used to be when I was in school. I graduated this past May with a degree in studio art with an emphasis in printmaking and a double emphasis in painting. My house is full of my projects. It's kind of terrifying. if you had a teacup or mug made and inscribed just for you, what would you have it say? I don't know. I really like the Marble Slab Creamery slogan that they have on their cups of ice cream. It says "Find happiness within," and I have found oceans of happiness in a cup of tea. Let's see. What is your number one non-goth hobby? I like to hula hoop. I like to play some Purity Ring and go outside and play with the hula hoop. If you could be a supernatural creature, what would it be and why? Probably a fairy or some kind of creature from the Fae, like in old traditional folklore, like don't fuck with a fairy or your cow will never have milk again. Don't make deals with a fairy. We'll take your firstborn. Probably gonna eat him. I don't know. I identify with that sort of flimsy, ephemeral fairiness in a way, I guess. In the way that they don't fully understand people sometimes. Yeah, that sounded really weird. I'm sorry. I could not say that in a way that made any less sense. What horror monster-based superpower would you have? I think it could be cool to shapeshift, like in a were creature kind of way. I guess they count as horror monsters. It would also be cool to be like a zombie and have my like limbs still work if torn from my body, or like Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas when she like reaches for pieces of herself to sew herself back together. I'm a clumsy motherfucker, and I think that could be exponentially useful for me. Let's see. Do you feel confident or comfortable interacting with other goths or gothy people online or in real life? Why or why not? That really depends. I guess I feel pretty comfortable doing it online for the most part, but I think that it's easier in general to interact with people online. I'm awkward. I was going to say I'm awkward in person, but I'm just kind of awkward. I don't know how to explain it, but just a set idea in my mind of what makes a person approachable, and if I think they look approachable, then I'm very personable, and I go out of my way to try to be friendly and, interact with people, but at the same time, if someone doesn't give me that, like, personable vibe, I kind of tend to stray away. I've missed out on some really good interactions with people because of mutual misreadings of each other. On to the next question. Which is more important for a look, great hair or great makeup? I guess great makeup, because I have really bad hair. I have a bad hair life. I don't have bad hair days. It never does what I want it to do. Is there something you wish there was more of in your subculture? I don't really identify with one particular subculture. I tend to describe my personal style as like Southern Gothic. So that could mean a lot of things. But I just kind of in general in the culture of subcultures wish that there was more acceptance. Like, inevitably after this video someone's gonna call me a big poser, or something like that, and I just think that everyone should be cool to each other and let people like what they like, and introduce people to new things that you like, and and share in that mutual love of the unloved. Let us go on. Care to share an embarrassing story related to your darkliness? This isn't really a specific instance. This is a number of instances that happened over the course of several years of my young life. I didn't understand for a really long time that, like, bad quality special effects blood was not an everyday makeup item. I went to school in middle school and junior high, like, circa 6th, 7th, 8th grade, a number of times while wearing fake blood as makeup. And I'm sure that there are people out there who can pull something off like that beautifully, but it doesn't work for me. And it's a little embarrassing. How are you at DIY? As I've said, I have an art degree, so I do a lot of DIY-ing. I make jewelry that I sell through a local shop. I've been meaning to also assemble my own Etsy shop. My grandmother taught me how to sew when I was really little, so I used to make some of my own clothes, and I quilt and do some embroidery and that sort of thing. So I feel pretty solid at DIY. Okay, quickly describe your ideal wedding. Alright, so as I've said, I describe my personal style as Southern Gothic, so think like decrepit old plantation house, lots of gray, dingy, ripped lace, weepy willow trees with all the Spanish moss, and a lovely old cemetery. This next section is called Confessional or True or False. Okay, the first is, I love watching cheesy romance films. This really depends on what you call a cheesy romance film. The first boyfriend that I ever had introduced me to the movie and the comic The Crow, the movie being the one with Brandon Lee in it. And it's kind of cheesy, and I consider it to be a romance, and it's still one of my all-time favorite movies. And I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That movie makes me cry like a wee bab pretty much every time I watch it, but I can't not watch it. But as far as, like, I guess typical romance things like Nicholas Sparks movies or books aren't really for me. The next is, I always remember to wash off my makeup at night. No, I'm really bad at that. I try to be that person that, like, carries around baby wipes with me everywhere and remembers that that's the last thing I should do before I go to bed, but it doesn't always happen that way. The next is, I sleep with plushies, and I do. I sleep with, I think, 7 plushies in my bed right now. I have a stuffed possum. His name is Pesty. I have a stuffed platypus. His name is Patty. I have a fox whose name is Todd. I have a Cthulhu plushie. Mostly I just call him... I have a black and red fuzzy dog whose name is Fiero, like the character from Wicked. Who else is currently? I have a baby beanie baby whale. He's like this big. His name is Gojira, like the metal band. Maybe there are only 6. Oh, Harmonica. She's super important. She is a brown horse with a white mane and tail, and she wears a red bandana, and I've had her since I was 4. And we've gone through a lot together. Let's see. I wear non-black pajamas most nights. This is true and not true. I don't really wear pajamas. I just sleep in big t-shirts. And I have t-shirts of a variety of colors. From different things. But I guess I wear a lot of band t-shirts to bed too, so maybe they're black? I don't know. Next is, I still listen to a boy band that had disbanded years ago. Not really. I was never super into boy bands, but also I was a little girl in elementary school at the time that, like, the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were a big deal. And so, yes, in a way, like, I don't listen to them of my own accord, but, like, if I'm at a pop radio, if I hear, like, a pop radio station playing something when I'm driving along, sometimes I'll stop and kind of reminisce. I'm a very nostalgic person. A very nostalgic person. Okay, I think Andrew Eldritch is overrated. I disagree. I don't like everything that he does, but I gotta give it to him. I think he's a talented musician. Let's see. I don't like vampires. This is not true. I go way back with the vampires. I used to haul around cardboard boxes and sleep in them at night as they were my coffins. My parents have photos of this. They're kind of adorable. I'm dating a goth, darkly inclined person. That is an interesting topic. Yes and no. Brett sings in a metal band, and he likes metal, and he wears a lot of black, and he has long hair. It's longer than mine, but I wouldn't really describe him as goth or darkly inclined. People often get that first impression from him, but really he's just a big nerd. He loves video games. Our apartment is fucking full of Magic cards. There's a poster on the wall right over there that I can't really show you, but it's Jace, the Planeswalker. Yeah. The next is, I don't like clubs. There aren't really any clubs here. Like, I can go over to Memphis and, like, dance in a nightclub, and if Memphis has a goth club, I don't really know. When I first turned old enough to go to a club, my friends and I used to go to Spectrum a lot, which is technically, I guess, a gay club. But I don't really go to the club. I spend a lot of time at this Irish pub downtown. It's cozy. They have live music sometimes. The next is, I don't enjoy graveyards, which is just entirely untrue. I'm a cemetery girl down to my very core. The next is, blood makes me queasy. This is also just not true. Actually, as part of my senior thesis for my undergraduate studies in art that I mentioned before, I did a series of, like, more than 50 paintings or prints of that I did with blood. I'd sooner faint than pet a spider. What kind of spider? I used to have a pet tarantula. Her name was Kirala. She was a Chilean rose hair, and she was the sweetest little darling. And I love those big black and yellow and white, like golden orb weaver spiders. I think they're really beautiful, but smaller spiders, like the really teeny tiny ones, sometimes catch me off guard, and I guess I am easily alarmed, and so when things surprise me, like I hate jump scares in movies because they always get me, and I think it's a really cheap thrill. But no, I guess I could pet some spiders. I don't like haunted houses. This really depends on if you mean like places that are supposed to actually be haunted, or places, or like the setup haunts that you walk through around Halloween and people sort of jump out at you, and they should be called surprise chainsaw. Those should be called surprise chainsaw houses, or surprise chainsaw walkthroughs. I actually like both of them, but I used to work for 3 or 4 local haunted houses around Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, and so I'm really particular of the quality of my fake set-up Halloween haunted houses. But I love folklore and ghost stories, so I love almost any real haunted area. I still browse Hot Topic's clearance racks. Yes and no. I like to buy pantyhose from Hot Topic, because they're pretty cheap. If I don't buy them online, because Amazon, I buy everything on Amazon. But yeah, I like to buy like tights and hosiery and socks from Hot Topic. They have a lot of comic book character socks. I like fun socks. I've never read Dracula. This is not true. I like me some Bram Stoker. I think that Dracula, the character, it's himself and the way that it's written, is a charming representation of like Victorian society at the time, and the repressed sexuality of it all. I mean, Dracula is the original sexy vampire before they were all like blood-sucking. Well, not that Dracula isn't blood-sucking, but they were all like ghastly visages and terrifying Nosferatu-like creatures. Not exactly handsome youngish counts. I mean, he looked young, but he was Dracula, so he was probably really old. I feel like I should remember how old Dracula was. I feel like it probably says, but I read that book in junior high. Don't remember. The last is I Think Bela Lugosi Is Dead, is a long and boring song, and this is not true at all. I really like Bauhaus, and Bela Lugosi's Dead is up there with this charming man in songs that just kind of make me want to dance and flail around. There is a hilarious video of Goth dancing that is like, there's like a couple of moves, and one of them is like stepping over your dead friend, and then there's like untangling the spider webs around you, or the coffee or teacup, and I enjoy that a great deal. It is a song to which I would flail around as such. I guess that's all for this tag right now. If you guys think of any other tags you think I should do, or if you want to reply to this tag, I tag all of you? Yes. I'll put all the questions down below. Hope you had a fun time. Okay, bye!